7 sets of 5 today. So this is the 4th day in a row that I've been hitting a minimum of 3x5 on this different squat stance where I'm really externally rotated in the femurs and I'm very, very upright. Like I don't remember ever squatting this upright. Like I feel like my chest is up, I'm stacked, I'm going in between my ankles. I'm not exactly like Lou, obviously, but this is probably the most upright that I have felt in squatting. And the interesting thing is, like, to initiate the squat, I don't think about anything other than knees out, kind of like engage the glutes, the external rotators, and that makes me kind of drop in between my ankles. And I feel like I'm pretty strong in the hole as well. There's like a weird bounce opportunity as well. Everything's kind of like nicely stacked. I'm not very strong. 140 for a bunch of sets is really good. I'm much better than wide. But I feel like I'm in this position not able to use the stuff that I'm really good at, which is basically the deadlift pattern, which is bending over and leaning over and using the stuff that I'm really good at, which is excellent because I have been getting frustrated for years now of turning the squatting pattern into a deadlift pattern when things get hard. With this, I don't really have that ability because I don't have a lot of foot, how should I say this? My feet are externally rotated completely. They're all like turned out. And if I started to tip forward, I would literally fall forward because my toes, I won't be able to catch me, if you know what I mean. I won't be able to plant a flex into the floor. So if you imagine having feet like Krusty the Clown, right? Bloody 1 meter long shoes, right? And imagine that's all of your foot. You'll be very, very easily able to catch yourself from falling forward because the lever of that foot is just such that you'll be able to exert a lot of force. But if that Krusty the Clown really rotates his feet outwards, all of a sudden you've minimized that length, the true length, in that sagittal plane, you've minimized that length. And so all of a sudden you become more likely to fall forward and fall on your face. You can't catch yourself. So like with this feet really, really turned out, I feel like I need to stay upright. Like there's no option to, go into my tippy toes because the tippy toes are right to the side and I'll fall forward. And so getting the feet out of the way essentially removes that ability for me to, really, really get into my toes because you literally can't, because getting onto your toes means falling on your face. So in that sense, I feel like I'm really targeting different muscles. This is really, really squatty. In my mind, there's like the squatty, and the hingy kind of like movement patterns in my mind. Like this is really in my legs. I'm really in my legs, and I don't have the ability to run away from it even when things get hard. And so I really like this, and that's the kind of the first thing that I really like about this stance. This style of squatting. And then the next is, it seems to be very, very volume proof, in the sense that nothing hurts. The groin has not hurt one tiny little bit since I've started doing this. So that's fantastic. And the hip, my long arch rival, has been great as well. So when I externally rotate in this stance, I feel like everything is fine. So I don't know, maybe this is probably how my body needs to squat. Maybe my femurs, my neck of femur, my hips, maybe they come out in a retroversion style. If you think about the angle of the neck of femur, so those little, how should I describe it? It's like a little hook. So your thigh bone kind of has like a bit of a hook at the end of it, and that little hook goes into the pelvis, creating the hip. That angle of that hook varies between individual to individual. Some people have this anti-version, ANTE version, I'm pretty sure that's how you spell it, which basically means the hip kind of points more forward. And so these people tend to have, parallel feet positioning when they're walking, almost like pigeon-toed, right? They really have that internal rotation, available to them. And then they have other people like maybe like me who have maybe retroversion. This is without scans and things, you don't really know, but this is just the feeling that I have. people like me, maybe I have retroversion, and so my hips kind of point backwards a little bit more, and so I tend to kind of want to rotate my feet out. So I have that kind of like whole duck, foot positioning, where I'm kind of like going out to the side with my feet pointing. And maybe this is why when I've for years tried to squat with that whole pigeon-toed, narrow, feet pointing straight, why the internal rotators, i.e. the TFL and the glute minimus and medius, they were getting so overworked because those muscles need to actively work to keep me in that, because I'm not in my baseline position. I'm not in my natural position. So like I've kind of forced myself to do something that my body is not able to do. Now when I go back into this really, really splayed out foot stance, my hips don't hurt at all because, I'm fully externally rotated. And so those internal rotators are fully stretched out and they're just chilling. They don't have to act. They've been deactivated. Maybe it's something along those lines. I don't really know. But like I can really tolerate a lot of volume with this squatting stance, which is absolutely necessary if you want to go to the next level of strength. You just need to accumulate more volume. If for whatever reason you can't, that is your rate limiting step, man. Like you need to accumulate more volume to get stronger. That's just one of those things. So 140 for 7 sets of 5. I'm very, very happy with it. I stayed in my form. I didn't lean over when things got hard, and I just feel like this is really healthy for me. I feel healthy, and I'm able to tolerate volume, which is excellent. It's all pointing in the right direction. Appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.